Hello, welcome, welcome. Good day, welcome. Let's just hold on so we can kick off by 12 p.m. 12 noon. Thank you for joining. Thank you. Just listen to the music. In 3 minutes time we'll start. Thank you. Can just greet in the chat box. Just drop a comment where you're joining us from. You can even put your country flag or even greet in your language. I think that will be fine. Thank you for making out this day with us. We're grateful. Thank you for joining. Please just say something. Go to the comment section. Just try and drop a comment there. Greet someone. Just say something in the comment section. Thank you for joining. Hi, Amy Vibes. Thank you. Hi. Good to have you here. More comments, please. Hi, Boy on God Comedy. Thank you. Good morning, Abiola. Good to have you. Good morning. We're all good. I'm fine, and I believe everyone on this call is also fine. Thank you. I'm good. I'm happy to have you join this webinar. It's really good to see you here. Hi, Steven. Good to have you here. Good morning, good afternoon. Thank you, Abiola. Thank you for the compliment. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching from. I know we have audience from different parts of the world, and it would be really interesting if you can greet in your local language or in the chat box. So, and if possible, drop your country flag. That would make sense, so we can get to know each other better. So, my name is Chine, and I'm glad to have you on board today for my webinar. And today I'll be discussing about the future of food and nutrition. We're going to discuss how innovations around food sectors leverage technology for a better outcome. And I would also like to advise, you can drop your favorite emoji, like I said earlier. You can also, greet us in your language. My name is Chine. I'm the founder of Ducho Food and Nutritions Limited, and also the convener of Nutrition on Mic podcast. So Nutrition on Mic podcast is on Spotify. Just type Nutrition on Mic podcast. You can listen to some of my nutrition podcasts, and on the YouTube channel I also have my nutrition spoken words that are quite interesting. Aside the regular webinar, the nutrition spoken words are quite interesting. You can see spoken words on indigenous food. You can see spoken words on different topics, and keep yourself busy when you're driving to work or when you're resting at home. Thank you so much. So, looking at what we have now and the future of food. The future of food is going beyond having the 3 square meal. The future of food is going to incorporate entrepreneurs, the consumers, the tech enthusiasts, the food producers, the health professionals, the researchers, including the policymakers, because you need all these people to come together to have an understanding that this is where we are heading to, in order to make a better decision that can be beneficial to every individual. Now, according to Kofi Annan said, without data, we are flying blind. It simply means that if you don't have data on the number of population, the number of food waste, the number of food, the quantity of food, having a prediction, the quantity of food that will be enough for this set of people in the nearest future, we are flying blind. We can't be able to measure what we want to do as regards to the future of food and nutrition. Today, genetic data is one of the emerging systems that will also stand the test of time. Okay, as I always tell people, the future is already here, but I can also assure you that AI won't take your job, but you need to upskill and you have to embrace technology so you can grow fast. Kindly use the comment section. I want you to type for me the parts of emerging technology for the future of food and nutrition that you're interested in. Are you interested in artificial intelligence? Artificial intelligence example using the computer vision, where you can easily just snap your food and get the calories in the food you just snapped. Is it artificial intelligence you're interested in? Is it NLP, blockchain, machine learning for prediction and nutrient analysis? Is it robotics? Is it robotics that you're interested in? Just type it. Let us know your interest in the future of food and nutrition in regards to technology. Okay, so we also have the robotics, like I said, drone logistics for health and nutrition. And you can also attest to that during the COVID outbreak, which COVID outbreak was one of the outbreaks that affected the whole world, unlike some outbreak that we have, and it would be as if it's specific for a particular region or a particular continent, but COVID was affected by the whole world. So, and during that time, the drone logistics became, rampant, though it been existent, but it was during the COVID that people saw the real importance of using the drone logistics for health and nutrition delivery services. Then we have the food printing and the gene testing, for personalized nutrition. And we have the smart farming for easy prediction for farmers and to make things very easy. In my own words, I always say, oh, Amy, okay, you build chatbots to enable computer vision that could help in sizing food nutrition. Okay, that's very amazing, Amy, the chatbot you do for computer vision. I'm glad you have a part to find interesting. We have food printing and gene testing too, and also robotics. So, in my own word, I always tell people that the food economy is controlled by technology. To have an established, a well-managed food economy that can help reduce food insecurity, that can help reduce unsafe food, that can help, reduce some of the issues we are having around food in our society present, it must be controlled by technology. It must be controlled by technology, not cooking and eating. I recall when I was doing my first degree, which was food science and technology, and people usually tease me when I was having doing that course. They would tell me, food science and technology, everybody in your department, you graduate to what they would say, you graduate to start cooking food. They teach you people how to cook food, but it seems the less attention was on the word technology. What everybody was saying was that food, that first one, but there was less attention on technology. But it's amazing now. Everybody's leveraging on technology in almost everything they do, even courses that didn't have technology attached to them, they're leveraging it. It shows that this is what will really help so many sectors to go far. So right now we're going to look at the different aspects that will be for the future of food and nutrition. And one, we're looking at nutrient traceability using machine learning. Is a future of food, is a future of nutrition. Nutrient traceability using machine learning. Okay, I also want to assure you, aside joining for this webinar, it will really be interesting that as you continue joining for the webinar, you pick up a point that you can leverage on, work on it as an entrepreneur, invest on it if you're an investor, or do further study on it to help you. So we don't just gather, talk, and go. We have to grow along as we're having this talk occasionally. Okay, so we have the nutrient traceability using machine learning. This is a future of food. This is a future of nutrition. If you have any marketable product that can easily trace nutrient content using machine learning, it will be very, very wonderful. It means you're seeing further, because we're passing the area of, okay, this is the nutrition label, this. You're moving towards the technology that you just trace the nutrients using machine learning, and it makes it a lot easier, and it makes it easier to, attend to thousands and millions of products within little time. Okay, then the second one is the virtual nutrition coaches. Those ones are already existing. Like I said earlier, some of the things I'm going to mention today, some are already in existence, while some have not really been harnessed, and they're either going to be a problem in the nearest future. So the earlier we start making use of it, the better for us. Okay, so for example, when I talked about the nutrition coaches, they're all around, millions of people are using virtual nutrition coaches, and nutritionists are just worried, like, since they're nutrition coaches, how do I get into the system? How do I still be relevant as a nutritionist, as a dietitian, as a researcher, since people are using virtual nutrition coaches? You can attest to that. I'm a nutritionist. Like, if somebody can just come to me and tell me, hi Chine, what can I take? My father, I had that last week. Someone actually walked up to me that the boss is having hypertension. I said, okay. Person, I said, just tell me what the person can eat. I said, just like that, I need to ask some questions. And somehow they didn't get back to me, because they used one of the two to ask questions. Hypertension, this. These are the available food in my locality. What should I do? And they got some recommendation. Do you understand? Because there are a lot of virtual coaches, but at the same time, you have a role to play if you're a nutritionist or a dietitian watching this program. If you're also a consumer that always consult virtual nutritionists. There are also relevant questions you need to know and ask so you can be on the right path. Okay, for example, we have this Zoe app. Zoe helps in sugar testing, it even does nutrition education for people, more on the biological testing, and it's already existing, but also in some regions it's not really functional because of lack of data. Like I said earlier, without data we are flying blind. Some of these may be in existence, but if they don't have complete data from some regions, they can't really function well in those regions, especially regions where they are needed mostly. Okay, so we also have this Lumen. Lumen is more like a hardware, it's like a metallic breath sensor where you just breathe in and it helps you check if the body is actually burning carbohydrates. So that's what Lumen did, and it helps in personalized nutrition. Then another one is use of robots for anthropometric measurements. No, this third point, it speaks more to the researchers. It speaks more to the researchers. It speaks more to the students. And I can also recall from my own part, I wrote a paper in 2023, and that paper was on using robots to measure anthropometric measurement. And it was really an amazing paper because talk of human, when you're having nutrition outreach and you need to take the antro status of the people in that nutritional outreach, if you have 1,000 people, human will be exhausted when taking their antro. And when a human being is stressed, the tendency of making mistakes will be there. So using robots for antro measurement is very, very wonderful. So I wrote a paper on it using robots for anthropometric measurements 2 years ago, because I looked at it and said, this is the future of nutrition. This will make work faster. This will make work easier. And this will make it possible for people to cover a large population just in a limited time. So again, however, learning either how to program a robot, build a robot, repair a robot will still make you relevant in that field. That is why I said you have to continue upskilling your activities around you. You need to upskill just for you to be relevant, whether you're a policymaker, you're a student, you're a consumer, or you are a researcher. Now we'll move over to the fourth one. The fourth one now, we're talking about softwares that can dictate genetically modified food, especially in areas where these food are not specified to consumers. We already know that some areas that this genetically modified food, when you go to the market, is clearly labeled. This is GMF, this is not GMO. It's clearly labeled. Then we also know that there are some areas where genetically modified foods are not labeled. So developing a software that can dictate genetically modified food, especially in areas where they are not specified to consumer, is a feature of food and nutrition. I can tell you that people want to know what they are eating. Make it easier for them to buy this item. Now we'll move to the fifth one. Okay, we still have 3 people on call. Please can drop your comments. Thank you for holding on. Now to the fifth one. We have blockchains in food supplies. It will make it easier to trace unsafe food, know where they are coming from, get the food data, help to predict when scarcity can arise in an environment, and also mitigate and how to mitigate it in countries, and also how to make the food bank to be sufficient. So blockchain in food supply is a feature of food and nutrition. Okay, I know most time we'll look at blockchain in finance, blockchain in agriculture, in different aspects, but blockchain is a future of food and nutrition. I can tell you that, especially when it comes to food supply, because this blockchain will help to dictate on safe food, easy traceability. Okay, this is coming from this place. It will be very, very easy, so that people, even when you advise them to be mindful of what they are eating, they will also be very, very sure that, okay, you have been able to trace this thing using the blockchain technology to trace this thing. So they can be very sure when you tell them, this is healthy, take it. Having this technology in use and being a reliable one is easier to solve people's health issue, or it's easier to improve nutritional status using the blockchain technology in food supply. Okay, let's take a look at, there's a country somewhere in Africa that had flooding sometime last year. And because this blockchain in food supply is not in existence in this particular country, because somehow they lack data, it was really impossible to fix some things. They had to go on canoe to distribute food. Okay, we'll come to that. I'll explain that later. So, blockchain food supply, and then the sixth one now. Now, I want us to have a little switch to non-technological future of food and nutrition. I think the first five I listed, they're on the technological part, but now let's have a little switch on what the future of food will be without talking about technology. Now, let's take a look at adaptogenic foods. Let's take a look at the nootropic foods. Last week during our webinar, we talked about nootropic foods and mental awareness. And let's take a look at upcycle food. This brings us closer to our own indigenous food, and at the same time reduces food waste. There are some countries that are complaining that they have food insecurity, they are hungry, but these countries, they also waste food. You don't have enough food, but you're wasting food because of mismanagement. Because each time they talk about food insecurity, a lot of people will tell you food insecurity is climate change. Everything is climate change. But mismanagement of food can also be food insecurity. Now, this is where upcycle food comes in. You peel your avocado, the back, people throw away the back, people throw away the seeds. Carrots, people want to wash, they just wash, scrape the back, they throw away the back. That is food waste. Getting the avocado back, then even the plantain back and the carrots that you scraped out, you can actually turn this item to an upcycle food. That is food management. And in that food management, you are reducing food waste. Okay? In that food management, you are reducing food waste. That is why we need to look at upcycle food as a future of food. Now in Africa, look at baobab tree, for example, and palm tree. I'm using these two particular trees because there are trees that almost every part of it is functional. You can really get something out of it. It's upcycle food method. You don't have to waste it. Not at all. Check the food in your plate, the remaining one, the grains of rice remaining. You look at this other thing remaining, look at another food waste, join it together. Make your researches, use it as upcycle food. That is the future of nutrition. As a graduate, you can just decide, okay, I want to go into food production, but I want to be producing only upcycle food. Is a niche. is a niche, and you will do amazingly just doing upcycle food, because what you are trying to do, you are just reducing food waste. And also is an innovative act. When you get this that's supposed to go to the trash, get that, get the other one, join it together and come up with something else. Then nootropic foods, as we discussed last week. Nootropic foods are food that helps the brain. They're just brain foods. If you look at the statistics, you notice that mental health issue is deteriorating by the day based on data provided. So if the future of food is nootropic foods, that means it's trying to address this mental health issue that the statistics keep rising by the day. Is that okay? Then we have the adaptogenic foods. What are adaptogenic foods? Okay, you can check in my Spotify. I did a note on adaptogenic food on my podcast. Adaptogenic foods are foods that help to reduce stress. Everybody is stressed, be it economic stress, be it financial stress, be it any form of stress. People are passing through stress every day. Nobody is exempted. But you can just say that this person's stress is like your stress level is higher than mine. That is where adaptogenic food comes in. Food that help to regulate stress. Foods that are good for stress management. This is also another feature of food. Okay, now we move to the seventh one. The seventh one is nutrigenomics. Nutrigenomics, how genes interact with diets. These have to do very close with our indigenous food. Okay, nutrigenomics is tailored based on people's there's something we call nutrition anthropology. How people relate with food, their behavioral approach to food, especially the ones that are food that are tailored to their culture and religion. So nutrigenomic is a feature of food. Okay, supplying of DNA kits. When we hear about DNA kits, most time we look at it maybe for knowing the owner of a child, for parental and all that. It applies in nutrition now. In nutrigenomic, you can just decide on your own, okay, I want to have a genomic laboratory. Genomic laboratory is very expensive to start, but again, it's very, very important, and it's a feature of food and nutrition. Now, this DNA kit becomes an area where someone can invest. You need to aid to analyze how the body metabolizes macro and micronutrients, and it will help in further personalized nutrition. Until this step is taken, dietary recommendation that we all know that it's becoming a general phrase now. Everybody will tell you personalized nutrition. Sometimes people do it like one size fits all, but personalized nutrition is not one size fits all. It's a popular catchphrase for nutripreneurs. So until there's a DNA testing, taking the next step, which is personalized nutrition, may be difficult. Though you can just do personalized nutrition and it works, but to have a complete personalized nutrition, I say this is what I'm offering you, my service is personalized nutrition. There must be a DNA testing. See the reason. Now you have a client and the client tells you, I'm diabetic, for example, and you ask the necessary questions for this client from this client, and then get a personalized nutrition. But with this DNA testing, for people that have genomic lab, nutrigenomic labs, it will trace out that this person is diabetic, this client is diabetic, but it will now, down to the gene, spot out another factor that can help you to do a personalized diet. If not, you can just use few things and do one size fits all and still call it personalized diet. So that's why nutrigenomics is very, very important if you really want to have personalized diet as one of your services. So someone set up the genomic lab, you partner with the person that set up with the genomic lab, you get the results, then you go ahead and do your personalized diet. That's pure business and impact. Okay, I've talked about the genomic sequencing lab. I joined it together with the one I said earlier. Then the ninth one here is program drones for food logistics, not just for emergency nutrition. Like I was about sharing a story earlier about a particular country where they had flooding last year. Maybe you know the country. There was flooding in that country, and the food relief organization came to that particular area. They were in a canoe, paddling a canoe, and they were throwing bread over the water for people to get, grab and eat. One, you are solving food problem, hunger, because their community was flooded, but you are also providing it in an unsafe manner that can make these people, at the end of the day, another health outbreak will be detected. But imagine if drone for health and food logistics is functional in this particular country I'm talking about, where you have sensors and it creates a smarter food system. Because at the end of the day, the future of food and nutrition should be smarter for everybody. Okay, it delivers this in minutes. Okay, let's just digress and come to the health aspect. Imagine a patient waiting for blood transfusion, and you need this blood transfusion. With drone logistics, won't you get there and save the person's life? Yes, you will. Then let's imagine again people going for hiking, and unfortunately, maybe as they went for hiking, maybe their pack of water slipped off the hill and fell, or maybe they finished their water after they got up to the hill. How will they save themselves? What if someone is choking? What if they need water relief? Drone logistic comes in food supply. The drone just delivers it and they take their water and they're fine. What if you're having an occasion and all of a sudden the food is not enough, and maybe you need 20 more plates to serve the remaining guests, and there's a huge traffic, and when people don't eat in your occasion, they may just have it in mind each time they remember the day they came for your occasion. Drone logistics supplies the food. That is it. That is another future of food and nutrition. Okay, then we'll move to the 10th one. The 10th one is water supply. Now, any innovation you can think around saving water, saving it. In the SDG goals, we have the clean water and sanitation, but now I'm talking about any innovation you can think of. Saving water is a big plus, because it's going to be another major thing that will hit us. Water. I usually tell people that water is the new oil. As you're trying to save money for your unborn kids, you're trying to save land, properties, everything. Make provision on how to save water for them. Water is the new oil. Just keep this word. Someday you'll really understand. Water is the new oil, and water is part of the future of food and nutrition. You can make your researches later about why water is the new oil. Now, let's bring it down for you to understand what I'm saying a bit. Water is the new oil, especially in areas where climate change is largely affected. Now, there are some places that have climate change issue, but they've already created a pattern for recycling of their water. But there are some areas that have climate change issue that there is no pattern for recycling of water. So very soon, water will become an issue. It's already becoming an issue. So water is a new oil and is a feature of food and nutrition. Any innovation you have around saving water, I think, is a very good one. Now to the 11th one, termites as preferred protein source. So now we are moving still in the future of food. Very soon, termites will be the preferred protein source because people are trying to move back to plant-based diet for so many reasons, most especially for health reasons. Okay, so people are going to move back. A lot of people will be doing more of termites as preferred protein source, and there will also be a rise in consumption of the plant algae. There will be a rise in consumption of plant algae. Already there are some people that consume sea moss and all that, sea moss, which is also nutritious. So, and there will be this plant-based diet will be more of it to focus more on the adolescents, because based on research, adolescents do not like plant-based diets a lot, especially when it comes to consumption of fruits and vegetables. Rather, adolescents love to take sugary substance, and most times their dietary pattern is being influenced by parents being absent, by peer pressure, by trend, advert, and all that. Then the 12th one, which I will probably call the last one for today till we meet next week, is apps that can report unsafe food. This app is going to work like a circular economy app that gets signals of area. Okay, sorry, I'm joining two things, right? Apps that will report unsafe food. I come to a supplier, I have this app in my phone, I just scan the food, it will dictate that this food is unsafe. Even food that is served, it will detect that this food is unsafe and report straight to the right portals. Like I normally tell people, if food and nutrition laws are as strict as traffic laws, we will not have much problem in food and nutrition sector. But each time when I look at the traffic law, it seems that the traffic law is more than food and nutrition law. Yes, the two is safety, right? But if you can have more, if you can hold the food and nutrition law as much as we are holding traffic law, you've offended, you're sanctioned. Park your car, do this. Beautiful. Hold food laws like that, and you see the beauty of it. Now, you can also have a circular economy app that gets signal of areas with low food supply. But this still boils down to having data, and without data we are flying blind. We cannot do anything. Not just real data, not data that are not real. Okay, so this is the last, and I'm so excited that you've stayed to this period to have this conversation around the future of food and nutrition. And so far, you can also attest that we've talked about the technology part, where we mentioned the drone, the blockchain, and the genomic labs and nutrition coaches and all that. And we also talked about the non-technological aspect, where we mentioned nootropic food, adaptogenic food, upcycling food. And you can drop your questions while I also read what we have in the comment section. The drone could actually help in reducing carbon dioxide. You get it, easy transportation contains a lot. Can you say that? Oh, thank you very much, Ima. Yes, the drone will really help, and it will make things very, very easy for people. Especially imagine brought okay, let's talk about from what this your comment now. I just want to pick up something from it. We're talking about maternal health and nutrition, maternal child health and nutrition, and maybe a woman is in labor. They need to do blood transfusion, and the drone service is working very well. It will bring the blood, and you save the woman and save the child. That is still maternal health, child and nutrition. It's maternal health, child and nutrition. Is not only breastfeed the baby. It's time to put complementary food, start complementary food, breastfeed on demand, give fruits and vegetables. There are other things. And you said advanced leak detection system. Yes. Advanced leak detection system can really help. Yes. Thank you for that comment. That was really nice. Any other comment, question? Please. I want to beg you viewers for one thing. Please, you can check other webinar on my YouTube channel. Check the Nutrition Spoken Words. You can also share with friends. If you notice some of the things I discuss on my webinar, I tell you things that someone can actually pick up an idea and start something. I try as much as tell you something that you can pick up an idea and start something. One person cannot solve the world problem. There's ChatGPT, there's Grok, there's DeepSense. One person cannot solve the world problem. So that's why I share what I know this is really going to help in my webinar. When I share it, I will also be very, very glad if you chat me up one, send me mail, or drop in the comments. I listened to your webinar. I picked up this particular idea. I and my team, we worked on it. We have launched it and it's functioning. I think this is beyond the number of people that join, number of people that like, the number of people that subscribe, because it's more of impact. I can't hide this to you because we just all need to be in a space where we are doing better, we are solving this problem, and we are happier. Please don't forget to share to people that you feel will need this. Share to them, let them listen to it, let them drop their questions. As much as I love comments, I want to get questions. I'm open for partnership. I'm open for a form of quality collaboration to do more work. And do have a beautiful Wednesday that is shining like the light behind me. Okay? All right. Bye.